Hey guys, it's the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for June 1st, 2025. Can't believe it's June already. We're going to be doing some NFL best ball drafts tonight, maybe a couple. As you can see, I don't have a co-host tonight. Tom, who's usually on Saturday night, had to do some work event out of town, so he couldn't come on the show. But yeah, we still have some fun tonight. So if you guys want to drop any comments, doesn't have to be about this, could be about anything, like not even football related. Like I'll answer everything and anything because, as you guys know, I'm not worried about anyone getting canceled on here because there's no one on here but me and I can't get canceled. So it looks like we're going to start this draft soon, though. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description of the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It's Cole's Bodies, Cole's Choice, which you can get here as well as anything else here at the merch store. Our draft's about to start in 2 minutes. So, yeah, so we have a 15% off sales, 15% off now. So it's a good time to get something. These shirts you can get in any color. So we have mugs as well. We have our famous apron. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years. We have actually 2 ratings now and 5 stars. So 2 out of 2, 5 stars. Thank you to whomever rated that at 5 stars. Really appreciate it. It was a fun book to write. I just made fun of people I met at Penn State. So I was there for 6 years. I had a lot of writing material, as you can imagine. Also, looks like we have the first pick, too. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. It's the best way to support the show. John Sanders and Slew have helped us out so much. Also, in the past, Degeneron, RMAC, K-Mac, The Boss, Evan Daniel, Mr. K McNeagle, and Degeneron. Like, really appreciate you guys so much, especially John Sanders and Slew. You guys are so awesome. And I always say this, and Kenny verified it. YouTube ads pay nothing. Kenny has a YouTube channel. I do. They really pay nothing, and it's kind of sad. So you guys really keep the show afloat here. Cassandra says, "LOL, Knicks." It's a nice one. Unfortunately, at the end, like we hit almost everything tonight. We hit Pacers -5. We hit Halliburton over 31.5 points plus assists. We had Pacers minus 19.5 plus 700, I want to say, and they were up. The Pacers were up by like 20, like 3 separate times. And Landry Shamet just kept drilling threes at the end. It was so frustrating, including one with 9 seconds left. And of course, the Pacers weren't going to try another shot. So we almost hit that too. That would have been awesome, but still a good night overall. Draft's about to start in 10 seconds. Let's start Ja'Marr Chase, because I actually drafted Saquon Barkley in a draft I did earlier today at the 3rd spot. I want to go with Chase here. And maybe get Joe Burrow at the end of round 4. So we'll see how that happens. So going to draft Ja'Marr Chase. I really don't know what to do at number 1 between Ja'Marr Chase and Saquon Barkley. I mean, if you guys have strong opinions, definitely let me know. Patrick says, did you see Evans' strategy for 4th quarter? I did on Bet365, won a little bit, but was wondering if we should do more high odd picks in closer games. Yeah, I mean, I tried tonight. I lost money on his strategy tonight. I didn't lose that much, but I did lose money. So I'm not quite sure like how he does it exactly. I mean, I know he does well. Like he's done well enough to get banned on FanDuel. So I really wonder like how he approached it. Like I tried to copy what he did, and it didn't quite work out for me. I hit some bets, but like other bets just had no chance. I took like Brunson over 2.5 3-pointers, Towns over half a 3-pointer. The Towns rebounds came in, Hart rebound came in. Although I had like 6+, he came in, then about 8+, and then Tom Thibodeau took him out of the game for some reason. I don't know why. This guy's such an idiot of a head coach. Like he's good in the regular season, but as far as like the playoffs, he goes like brain dead or something. I have no idea why. Like he just does the stupidest stuff, and that's why we kept betting Pacers every time at home. I think we bet him. Game. We bet the Pacers game 4 and game 6. We bet the Knicks game 3. The only game we got wrong in the series was game 2 when Thibodeau benched Towns for no reason in the 4th quarter. Or was that I can't remember if that was the game, or maybe he didn't. He kept Jalen Brunson on the bench until 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Like this guy's so clueless. So okay, let's keep our best players on the bench. Sounds like a good idea in a playoff game. Like it's so stupid. Like I know Brunson had 5 fouls, but like he kept them on the bench until 2 minutes, And it's like, if you think about it, like if overtime started, would Brunson be on the court? Like, of course, there's 5 minutes in overtime. So like you would think that 5 minutes would be like the absolute latest he put him in. But no, he kept Brunson on the bench until 2 minutes remaining. And like he kept Shamet on the court. Like Shamet killed us, but like Shamet just for some reason Shamet was in like the entire fourth quarter. It just made no sense. I guess we should look at this draft, right? So Jefferson, Gibbs, St. Brown, Lamb, McCaffrey. Gentry went a little later than usual, which it's still too early in my opinion, but he usually goes like 107, 108. McCaffrey goes 108, a little earlier for that. That feels like you could lose your draft that way. Nico Collins, Brian Thomas. I love that start for Jimmy Silva. Derrick Henry, Gentry's interesting. I love McConkey, love Nakua. Good start for MPK Rel. Bowers. I actually, in the draft today where I got Barkley at 103, I got Brock Bowers at 210. I usually don't take Bowers because he goes early, round 2, but I got him at 210 earlier today, so I thought that was pretty good. Titan says, my concern is Barkley playing another full season. Yeah, I mean, you should always have that concern with any running back, especially one who just had a pretty long season. I mean, as long as you could possibly have. The Eagles didn't even have a bye, so he played every game in the playoffs. They did have a week off in week 18, but still super long season for him. A lot of workload, and he's not like old yet, but still just having that workload. I think that that could hurt him for 2025. So I definitely think there's more risk with Barkley than Chase. So I think that means that Chase is probably the way to go. But I think it's super close, and you could really argue either one. I don't think there's a wrong answer at the moment, but I've gone back and forth on this. Like earlier, I was taking Barkley, and I think now I'm taking Chase. And I've said this before. There's just like so many good running back options available in like rounds 5 through 8. Kenny disagreed with me a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like when we were drafting, Kenny's like, "Oh, those guys aren't bad." So I don't know. I think that I'm comfortable taking some of those guys in round 5, round 8. Although round 8 at 8-12, it feels like those guys might be gone. So all right, Taylor Irving gone. We have AJ Brown. So if we took Barkley, that'd be tougher to take Brown here. But we can take him. Never mind, we can't take him. So. I don't want to take Higgins because he and Chase like seemingly like never go they never go off together. I like McLaurin. I'm definitely taking him. And then you have Garrett Wilson, Lamar Jackson. You have Josh Allen. I could maybe take Josh Allen at 301. I'm not a huge fan of that. So let's take McLaurin and then figure out what we're gonna do after that. There's Marvin Harrison Jr., Chase Brown, Jackson Smith-Njigba. I like him. I guess Garrett Wilson. We've seen Justin Fields turn number 1 receivers into good fantasy players. Like remember the season that DJ Moore had. I like Garrett Wilson. I also like Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think I'm going to take Jackson Smith-Njigba, even though he's a little lower here. Just kind of going off, just not really going off ADP here, but I think that he's the best option here. So going to take him a 3 receiver start in and this is fine because you play 3 receivers here. And receiver really dries up. It's pretty crazy how receiver just falls off after like round 7 or round 8. They're 1A and 1B. Yeah, I agree with Chase versus Barkley. Patrick, by the way, I brought up the show on Wednesday. I don't know if you heard the show, our show on Wednesday, but I brought up this new TV show I watched on Netflix. I don't know if you heard of it or watched it, but I did see a promo for it the other day, which kind of like stood out to me because I just finished it. It's called The 8 Show, as in the number 8, The 8 Show. Its synopsis is basically 8 individuals are trapped in an 8-story building, playing games and accruing money or something. You could probably Google it. By the way, Josh Allen 307's is pretty good. I wish we had the 7th pick and got in there. But no, it's a really good show. It sounds like Squid Game. Actually, that's kind of why I watched it initially. But it's actually like not like Squid Game at all. It's a much different concept. And in fact, like I'm not spoiling it because they tell you this 10 minutes into the show. Actually, unlike Squid Game, it's like one of the rules of the game says if one of the players dies, the game ends. So it's not like one of those survival killing games. It's a really cool show. I love the characters. I think they did a great job with them. I can't tell you like one character I hate. I think they all like interacted like so well together. And they did have some flashbacks. It's funny because John Sanders, I think it was John Sanders in the chat, asked like, "Is it like Lost?" And at the time I said no, but then like as the series went on, it's only 8 episodes. Like they showed more flashbacks and like, like this is kind of like Lost. Like they showed you how they got to the island, like through the airport, and like here they showed you like what led them to playing the game and stuff, like each of the 8 characters. So it was pretty cool, and I like the ending too. Like the ending was not a disappointment. There might be a sequel, I don't know. That's up in the air, but I really liked it. I think you would like it too. It's one of the shows like I'm still thinking about like in my head, and I kind of like want to watch some like podcasts about it and like just to see like what people think and maybe if they think there's gonna be a sequel. So definitely check that out. The 8 Show. Anyone watching and this show right now, just check it out. So it's on Netflix. Stranger Things, Wednesday, Monarch, and Foundation are pretty good shows. Stranger Things, yeah. I mean, Stranger Things season 1 was one of the best of all time. Like when you talk about best seasons of all time, I think Stranger Things season 1 has to be up there. Now it declined a little bit in season 2. It really declined season 3. I thought season 3 was like actively bad, but season 4 rebounded pretty well. I think season 4 was probably my second favorite season. So I liked how it bounced back. So by the way, Tias Pieto, I don't know how you say that. Tispito, Team 8. He's got the McCaffrey, Achane, Kyron Williams, James Cook. Now you could draft 4 receivers, but like 4 running backs is pretty questionable. I don't know if I would have done that. I probably would have gone Neighbors or Nakua instead of McCaffrey. If you like Achane, that's fine. I still would have done something differently. Kyron Williams, I like there. It's probably his best pick. James Cook would be good if we knew he wasn't going to hold out for sure. He might. We don't know yet. So I'm up in 2 picks or so. Mixon stands out to me. And I mentioned Joe Burrow. Hopefully he falls to us. Not going to take Hurts. If we got AJ Brown, I would have considered it here. I like Sutton, even though we have 3 receivers already. Metcalf, just getting these like monster number 1 receivers, I think is a good move. Mixon went, so we can concentrate on getting running back later. I'm not seeing any running back like I love, like RJ Harvey. No way, I'm taking him. Kamara, no thanks. Hubbard. Maybe later in the 5th, like late 5th, maybe early 6th, but this is a little too early for him. Same with Walker, Connor. They're all in like late 5th area. I'd rather take Burrow, and we have to make sure our buys line up. So going to take Burrow to pair with Chase. It's pretty exciting. And then our buys are 10, 12, and 8. So Sutton is 12, Metcalf is 5, Flowers is 7. I think I'd rather have Metcalf than Sutton just because of the buy. You don't want to have too many guys in the same buy. 2's okay, but like then you kind of, if it takes Sutton here, then I like absolutely can't draft anyone with the week 12 buy. So that kind of like boxes me out of some players, maybe potentially later in the draft. So we're gonna go with Metcalf here. So nice start here. I love pairing Burrow with Chase, and then we have 3 other great receivers. 4 number 1 receivers, which it's pretty good. So. Nice start. We can get our running backs. So we can get 2 of them in the next couple of rounds. So, or at least one of them. We'll see who's available. But anyway, as far as the other shows that Titan mentioned, Wednesday, Monarch, and Foundation. I don't think I heard of Foundation. Wednesday, I've seen in promos. I haven't watched it. And Monarch, what is Monarch? That's very familiar. I just Googled it. I don't. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking something else. But I'm always open to watching new stuff. Wednesday I never watched. I don't know if like it was just never looked appealing to me. I was never into like the Addams Family. My wife is. My wife always loves the Addams Family. She's into like Halloween stuff. I was never into like holidays. I mean, as a kid I was, but like as an adult, like when Halloween rolls around, I'm like, I could do without it. Like, a Halloween party is always fun, but let's face it, like any party's fun. And then Thanksgiving is just, I work on Thanksgiving basically, just quote unquote work. I watch football and write about it. Then Christmas, like Goodell ruined Christmas by putting games on it. Like I'd love to spend time with my family, but Goodell ruined that. I don't know. I just never really got into holidays. But like I said, my wife does, and she loves like Halloweeny stuff, and so on Halloween. Around Halloween, she'll watch stuff like The Addams Family and whatnot. So, she's more into that than I am. But even she never. I don't think she ever even watched Wednesday. Maybe she did. I'll have to ask her. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a good show. I don't know. I'd have like I can't say it's a bad show. I've never watched it. So okay, picks in this round. We had Jalen Hurts just went right after us. So looks like Oren's hands went. Look at this stack. He went Saquon Barkley, Brown, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts. It's very unlike the. Remember the guy we did a show, we did a best ball draft show like a few weeks ago, and some guy drafted all the Eagles, and then someone right before him sniped Jalen Hurts, and then like it seemed like he just quit the draft. It was so funny. But this guy, Oren's hands, did end up getting Jalen Hurts. Had I known that, I maybe would have trolled him and taken Hurts if I won. Just kidding. But I don't know. I mean, like, I get stacking and stuff, but like, what does Barkley plus all the receivers do for you? I feel like if you remove Barkley, that makes more sense to stack that way. But Hurts and Barkley are negatively correlated. Like, I don't mind taking both, but I think that like stacking your team this way is just. I know people do it. I'm just not a fan. I love stacking the quarterback and the receivers, but like putting the running back there, unless he's a major pass catcher, I'm just not a fan of that. So, not that I hate this team. I actually think this team's pretty good, but I don't know. It just seems a little kind of ridiculous because Barkley goes off, chances are Brown's not, and vice versa. So, I don't know. I guess you can depend on other guys too, but. And you have Devontae Smith, like Brown and Smith are negatively correlated. Like it feels like Smith never does anything unless Brown's hurt. That's when Smith has his best games is when Brown's out. Juwan Jennings, one of my favorite players to take, is taken round 603. I mentioned this with Kenny, like before the draft, he's going like round 7, round 8, and now he's going round 6. Like he definitely moved up. A bunch of receivers I like. So I'm glad we got our receivers here because that position might be drying up. We had Jerry Jeudy, Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave. I like these guys, Ricky Pearsall, but all the main round 6 guys are gone. Running back, I said we would address that. I love Aaron Jones, and the fact that we don't have any Vikings yet makes me want to draft him. We could take another running back, maybe Judkins. It's hard to know what his exact role is going to be. I love his talent, though. I just really don't like taking rookies, especially like when you don't see them yet. Like in training camp or the preseason. So it's kind of tough. Well, Aaron Jones goes. So I think I'm inclined to I think we have to take a shot with Judkins. I don't really like Caleb Johnson's behind Jalen Warren. I think Judkins has a better chance to start. There's Tony Pollard, who's just okay. There's like 3 running backs there. Swift, to maybe take him, but they could add a veteran. I'm gonna take Judkins. And then maybe Swift or Pacheco on the way back. I think we can look at another position too. Like there's Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave. I love Chris Olave because he's the number 1 receiver, and the Saints young quarterbacks are just going to target him a lot. I worry about his concussions, but outside of that, I think he's great. There's Hawkinson too. We could take him. He's a great talent. I think I'd just rather take the receiver because those are going to run out. So. All right, we got our 5th receiver. I like getting at least 5 in the first 8 rounds, sometimes even 6. But 5 in the first 8 rounds is ideal. So we can look at the other positions once we get back to our picks. So hopefully one of those running backs I mentioned before, Swift or Pacheco, ideally, or even it's like Tyron Tracy. I don't mind that either. Let's see. Monarch is a government organization that tracks kaiju. What's kaiju? Let's see. Let's see. Godzilla related. Okay. Hey, Mr. Magic. I saw Monarch. Okay. I never played best ball. You should try it. Yeah, you should try it. It's a lot of fun. First of all, it's a lot of fun. You can make a lot of money on here. It's $2 million to first place. This team I draft could win $2 million hypothetically. Now, granted, it's like a pretty long shot because there's so many people drafting. But if you win your league, you're going to win money, and if you advance to the second round of the playoffs, you're definitely going to like at least triple your money, and then so on and so forth. Like if you make it to the championship, like you're going to make like at least 4 figures. So there's a lot of money on the line here. And I shouldn't say on the line. It's a potential chance to win money. And then it's only like You can play like $3 leagues here or $3 drafts. This is a $20 draft. But there's even like higher stakes. I think there's like I think it's on the maybe we find it on the screen here. I think there's like $1,500 entry or something. Let me see. 3180. 3180. So this pays out 150,000 the first, but there are only 144 people in here. And if you make it to the championship, even if you get last place in the championship, that's $67,000. If you make it to the playoffs, you get at least $5,000. So you get your money back plus about $1,800 or so. And then if you make it to the semifinals, you make at least $15,000. So it's intriguing. I don't know. It's a little rich for my blood. But if I win one of these DraftKings contests, we will definitely do that. And I think I want to say, I wish I could say we do that on screen, but like, I think that's one of the slow drafts. Like you can either pick 30 seconds per pick or 8 hours. I think that would be one of the 8 hour picks. I don't think like anyone's going to put $3,000 on the line and just draft for it like real quick, So I think I would love to say, if we win a GPP and something, I'd be like, I'd love to do that live with you guys, but I don't think the other drafters would do that live, and also, like, that would be a big disadvantage for me because someone could just like tune into the stream like we had like I and the Kai do that one time. Anyway, we have the running backs. So Swift is one of the running backs we were eyeing. He went. Brian Robinson Jr. also went. Not a fan of him. Caleb Johnson's just fine. Although he's blocked by Jalen Warren right now. I suspect he's going to be starting at some point later in the year because Warren gets hurt so much. Tyron Tracy went 801. That's interesting. That's kind of new. I have not seen Tracy go that early. Usually he goes like late round 8 or early round 9. I got him at 810 in that draft I did today. So it was Barkley, and then I got Tracy later, and I drafted all receivers and Brock Bowers in between. Stephon Diggs went 802. I just did a video on Stephon Diggs. I'm gonna be doing more individual videos. I'm gonna try to do like one every day, like either me or Charlie, one a day. Just doing topical stuff. Like if there's news, we'll cover it. Otherwise, we'll do like a generic thing, like we did top 3 most underrated teams in the NFL. I still have to do an overrated one. I did some reviews of my fantasy drafts, my best ball drafts. I did a video on Stephon Diggs last night, or actually this morning, where I talked about like why you should avoid Stephon Diggs in fantasy, and I kind of like teased it with that picture, that famous picture that's going around about his like maritime adventures with the pink powder. And it kind of like, anyone who doesn't know me would be like, oh man, I guess I shouldn't draft him because of the stupid boat thing, or like someone Pacheco just went. Or they might be like, oh, this stupid guy thinks you shouldn't draft him because of some stupid boat thing. It's actually, I said you shouldn't draft him because he's 32. He's going to be 32 soon. He's coming off the torn ACL, and he hasn't been that productive in the past 2 years. Like that's why you should avoid him, not because of the stupid boat story. And I had a little fun with Ben Volin of the Boston Globe saying like this is a strike against him. I'm like well, like there's other things should have been strikes against him, not this stuff necessarily. All right, we need to figure out who we're taking. Pollard's still there. I talk crap about Pollard a little bit, but he's available. If we can't get Pollard, I'm looking at Jalen Warren or Najee Harris. It's I haven't drafted those guys at all. I don't think I have a single draft with them. But I'm willing to try something new here. We have 5 receivers. Let's look at the receivers. I love Josh Downs and Pittman. Like, I love these guys. I'm more than happy to take my 6th receiver here and just not worry about the position after that. Quarterback, we have Bo Nix. We didn't take Sutton. Otherwise, I'd be in on Bo Nix. But we have Burrow already. We don't need a quarterback necessarily. Pollard just went. Mark, I love Mark Andrews, too. We don't have a tight end. So it's tough call. I think, I love these receivers, but we have 5 of them. So I think I'm going to have to take Mark Andrews. I just think he's going to have a real bounce back season. Like, he was injured to start last year, and he had that horrible game in the playoffs as the last thing he did. Like, that's the worst game of his career. I feel like he's just going to be so motivated to bounce back. So it's Jalen Warren versus Najee Harris. Tomlin loves Warren. That's offensive line's good. Chargers offensive line's really good too. You know what? I think Eh, it's so close. I'm gonna take Warren because Hampton is more of a threat because he was a first rounder than Caleb Johnson is. So I'm gonna take Jalen Warren. Not in love with it, but it's 10th round, or I guess 9th round, so second running back. So it's okay. I was really hoping for one of those guys. This guy sniped us. This Eagles guy, maybe he was listening and was like, "I'm going to screw Wald over." He also took Aaron Jones to screw us over. So, and also AJ Brown. I wanted AJ Brown too. This guy is like this guy's our nemesis here. This orange hands guy. So orange hands, if you're listening, you're drafting well. Outside of that, like negative correlation I was talking about, but I don't really hate that either. Say hi. Okay, these crowns have got to go. I have not seen what these crowns look like at all. At all. Like I don't know what it looks like or anything. I'll take your word for it. That it's annoying. But that's I don't know why they would do that. I guess they're just like trying new stuff. By the way, I had the TNT broadcast still on my TV, and they did the Gone Fishing. This is the last Gone Fishing ever for TNT. It's kind of nuts. They have Larry David on. They've Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, this Chris Tucker. With the whole Knicks people. There's what's his name? Spike Lee at the right on the right. Is that Chris Rock right next to Larry David? I don't know, but anyway, it's kind of crazy that Inside the NBA is done on TNT. I know it's moving to ESPN, but ESPN is going to find some way to screw it up. Like, they usually have like decent replacements if one of Shaq or Barkley or Kenny Smith can't make the show. But that like ESPN is going to put one of their doofuses on. Like you're going to see Stephen A. Smith on there all the time. I guarantee it. Like they're just going to ruin it with their own guys. It's going to suck. It's just really going to suck. So, all right. So yeah, Bo Nix went 9-10. That's pretty late for Bo Nix. It usually goes like round 8. So kind of sad that we didn't get Sutton, and we could have paired him with Bo Nix, I guess, but we already have a quarterback, so it's not a big deal there. Looking at running backs, Javonte Williams. I compared him to like this girl I used to date in college, where she would reach out to me. She'd like, "Hey, you want to hang out tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool." And then she'd like hours later, she'd be like, "Oh, I can't. I'm busy or doing something." And this is not like a one-time thing. It was like a one-time thing, like fine, but like it was like every single time. Like it's like it's ridiculous. Like when initially, like eventually when we made plans, like I wasn't even like she's just gonna bail, and like yeah, of course. So she was like so unreliable. Like there's always like hyped up to like do stuff, like yeah, hang out, have fun. She was pretty hot. But like it always ended in just disappointment. That's like Javonte Williams in a nutshell. Just like you always hear him hyped up. It's like, oh, Javonte Williams looking good, and yeah, he's gonna be the starter. And then like it's always a disappointment with him. He had those 4 great games to start his career, and ever since then he's just sucked. Yeah, I don't know. He's been so disappointing. With that torn ACL really screwed up his career. It's a shame because he looked so good to start, but it's kind of like where I am with him. So we have 3 picks left to ours. There's still Najee Harris, which, given our running back situation, I don't mind. I was considering him at 901, so to get him 10-12 is pretty crazy. Charbonnet is actually pretty good as well. We don't necessarily need a quarterback, although Justin Herbert is kind of interesting. Receiver we don't need to look at, thankfully. Like I said, these receivers really just kind of dry up. I like Jack Batch, but not I don't know, to take him here. Maybe at the next go around. We don't need a tight end. We just took one. So we're looking at maybe double running back here, although I like Garendo too. I'm hoping that he falls to us. Thinking, though, that we should draft one of these guys in a quarterback. I know we have Burrow, but the quarterbacks really run out soon too. We don't have we have a receiver. There's no one like we can really pair like with these receivers, unfortunately. So I'm gonna start with Najee Harris, who is a week 12 bye, so we're good there. And then it's either Justin Herbert or Zach Charbonnet. And like we could get Garendo on the way back. You know what? I'm going to take Charbonnet. I think he's the best player here. We can get a couple decent quarterbacks on the way back. I'm going to take Charbonnet. So we'll see what happens. But just because like our running back situation is so shaky, like RB2, like RB1 Judkins, like we don't even know if he's going to start. RB2 Jalen Warren's always banged up. RB3 is Najee Harris, and then Charbonnet. So I feel like at least one of those guys will do well for us, and like maybe two of them will do well for us. So I think that's the right move. We have Burrow anyway. Like, take Justin Herbert. Like, how many times is he going to outscore Burrow? So let's take a quarterback here and then a quarterback down here. I think that should be the plan. As Lou says, surely that insurance policy chick who jerked you around wasn't as hot as the Ice Queen. No, well, the Ice Queen was prettier. She had a prettier face. Actually, you know what? I like that insurance policy girl better. Like, you know, as flaky as she was really cool. So I don't know, maybe that maybe enhanced her looks for me. But no, I think the Ice Queen was prettier for sure. But I don't know. I remember insurance policy girl more fondly. You know, she was, and I said this before, like, she was the start of Jerks of the Week because she actually was she actually started working at a law firm, and she was supposed to go to a wedding with me, my roommate from college's wedding, and she said yes, and then a few weeks later she's like, I have this work event thing because I'm just starting to work there. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm like, whatever. I just went solo. I had a good time still, but so that was the genesis of Jerks of the Week because it was a barbecue event at her new law firm. And so my first ever Jerks of the Week entry was about barbecues. So that started the whole thing. So it worked out eventually. So like, if she wasn't so flaky, I probably would have never done Jerks of the Week. So we can thank her for that. So we had a bunch of quarterbacks go here, and we have another one in this 11th round. We had Herbert, Lawrence, Love, Penix, May, and Tagovailoa. Like, you know, I feel like the only two guys who really belong here are Herbert and May. May just has great upside. Herbert's obviously great, but Lawrence, I think Lawrence kind of belongs here, but I've seen him go later. I've seen him go like round 12. So I think that's slightly early for him. Same with No Cookie Jordan Love. I think he should go a little later. Same with Penix. Penix, I think, should go around round 13. Jake Betchko, so I was looking at him potentially, but we didn't get him. And then Tagovailoa is just a concussion waiting to happen. So I don't think that's a good pick at all. So Jimmy Sliva, who started off with those two picks, but then kind of went downhill with Tyreek Hill and two tight ends like Travis Kelce. In that other draft I did today, Travis Kelce went 8-12. He took him at 601. That is such a big reach. That's horrible. A little bit of a reach for Tracy, but he wasn't going to make it back to him, so it's fine. We are coming up here. We only have one quarterback. We definitely need one more. There's Stafford, Bryce Young, Geno Smith, Cam Ward. We could maybe take two even just to make sure we have our guys. You really need three quarterbacks in best ball. I know we took Burrow earlier, but we really need three. Garendo's there. I love Garendo. You guys know that. And then nothing really receivers. This is why I talk about taking the receivers early. Tight end, we took a tight end already, so I'm fine with that. So I want to take Garendo for sure. And then the other quarterback could either be Stafford or Cam Ward. We don't have anyone from either team, so we are pretty open, although we have to look at the buys. So week 10, 8, and 10. Okay, there we go. We can't take Cam Ward because we have a week 10 buy quarterback already. So let's take Garendo and let's take Matthew Stafford. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do with our third receiver. Maybe Sam Darnold because we have Jackson Smith and Jigba. Not crazy about Sam Darnold. In fact, like, I could maybe see Jalen Milroe replacing him, but we have Jackson Smith and Jigba, so that's at least some correlation there. John Sanders says, Mike, turn off the crowns in the settings. Well, there you go. I didn't know. See, I didn't even know about crowns. And now, if you guys never ever mentioned crowns to me, I never would have known about it. But no, now that we know that we can turn them off in settings, you don't have to worry about it. So more quarterbacks go. Geno Smith, Bryce Young. This I don't know about Bryce Young in round 13. That seems a little too high. So like, I don't know. So Zach Ertz doesn't seem like he has much potential here. I'd rather take Jake Ferguson, who went 5 picks later. Ertz could be steady, but you know, they added Deebo Samuel, so his target share is going to go down. He's an older player. I don't know why he needs to take him here. Kincaid and Kraft back-to-back is pretty good. It reminds me of that one draft we did with Kai with Kai in the fantasy draft. where he said you stole both my tight ends. It's funny. There goes Cam Ward, which is nice because we can't take him. If we took Cam Ward, we'd have to take a fourth quarterback because come week 10, if Stafford is injured, then we'd get a 0 at quarterback, and you can't do that. You can't do that. That gets you killed in best ball. So that's a good thing that Cam Ward went. So I can't believe it, but we're kind of like hoping that Sam Darnold falls to us. I never thought I'd say that, but that's actually really the case. If it's not, well, I guess if it's not Darnold, maybe we go Richardson. Actually, maybe we go Richardson anyway, because there's a chance he could improve. And then maybe we take Daniel Jones in round 19, around 20. Not that I'm excited to do that, but just to make sure we have the third quarterback, because if we take Richardson, he gets benched. It's the same thing. So that's why I like to have like 3 quarterbacks by round 13, because once you get past round 13, that's like the only there's no more certainty left at the position. Tyler Algier goes 1401. I love getting Algier, but we have 5 running backs already. We're not like dying to get him. I want to take 1 more running back at least, maybe 2. We need at least 2 more receivers. We need 2 more tight ends, and we need 1 more quarterback. So that's where we stand here. Tank Bigsby went. That's one of Kenny's favorites. Rico Doodle, of course. Is he's mentioned. John says I take Jones or Richardson. Both can run. Yeah, for sure. There goes Richardson anyway. So Jones, you can get much later. Jones goes like round 19. So it's a really nice discount on him. Yeah, so some good running backs here. Ray Davis, didn't mention him, 13-10. He's someone who could win your league. Like if James Cook holds out or is traded, Ray Davis is going to look great. Like he would go like round 6 in this draft, round 5, round 6 in this draft. Like if Cooker traded today, so he's one of the running backs I like getting in this range. I think that this is where you get your running backs, except obviously not your starters, but like your depth here, because Charbonnet could be amazing this year if Walker goes down. Same with Guerrero with McCaffrey. Jalen Wright goes. I like him with Achane. Achane's pretty injury prone. He's pretty brittle. So you can get Jalen Wright, and he could win you your league. Like these are all like potential league winners. Like, and they may not do anything, but like you have to get these upside guys. We're up in 2 picks. Sam Darnold is still here. Knock on wood. Again, I can't believe I'm saying that. I like Braylon Allen. I like Justice Hill. Roshan Johnson for now. They could trade for someone, or they could sign someone. As for receivers, I like Alec Pierce. Just because like he's going to have like 3 great games this year, and that's all you need in best ball for your round 14, 15 guy. So I want to – Sam Darnold just went. Never mind. So anyway, let's take Pierce. And then who are the quarterbacks? Shuck, Dart, Wilson. Let's just take Daniel Jones in a few rounds. All right, so given that we're going to take Jones, I like that we got Pierce. As far as our next pick, I think – I'm inclined to go running back again. Braylon Allen looks good to me. I heard some rumblings that Breece Hall might be traded. I don't know how legit that is, but it's something that like did catch my attention. So there's that chance, and if that happens, then Braylon Allen is going to be awesome. So I like this pick. Once again, this guy Oren's hands sniped us with Sam Darnold. That was his second quarterback, so yeah, I can understand why he did it. But it's funny that like he's gotten us like almost every time. See, 2 highs, that is short joke. All right, yeah, Keenan Allen goes. I'm kind of confused by Keenan Allen's draft ADP. Like he's going like round 15, whereas Amari Cooper is going round 19. I feel like they're the same to me. Like they're both veteran receivers who are not on NFL teams right now. So I don't know. I mean, like Cooper could be signed before Allen for all we know. I don't know. I mean, they play different spots on the field, but still, I don't quite get it. So yeah, I don't know. As far as some other picks, we had Quentin Johnson going here, which is very odd because the Chargers drafted 2 receivers. They drafted Trey Harris and Keandre Lambert-Smith. I think Keandre Lambert-Smith could be a pretty decent player come like the midpoint of the season. He's pretty explosive, and the Chargers don't have much on the outside, and he also blocks well. So that's something that Jim Harbaugh really values. Actually, both the rookie receivers for them block well. So They could be on the field, and like Johnson, all he does is drop passes. Like there's no reason to have him on the field. So yeah, so I don't get the Johnson pick. It's not like he's shown us anything. He's had there have been no signs of him being a good player in the NFL, like none. And he's had every opportunity. So and also he's not part of this regime. Like he was drafted by the old regime. So there's no reason for Jim Harbaugh to stick with him. I wouldn't surprise me at all if Johnson's cut by the end of the preseason. Justice Hills goes. I like him a lot, just because Derrick Henry could go down. I wonder if this guy took Henry. No, he did not. So I always say that, like, don't draft your own handcuffs, draft other people's handcuffs, because if you draft your own handcuffs, you're limiting your potential with your team, because one thing's going to happen. Either your starter's going to be healthy all year, which means you just wasted a pick in the later rounds where you could have gotten another sleeper, or your starter gets injured and you have your backup, but then your first round pick or second round pick did nothing for you. So that really limits your upside, and it does mitigate the downside. But in fantasy, if you're going against 11 people in standard leagues, or 100,000 whatever in best ball, then like you can't play for a higher floor. You have to play for a higher ceiling. And so I almost never draft my own handcuff unless it's like this like amazing talent. I actually did that in this draft I did earlier today. I took, as I said, I took Saquon Barkley 103, and then like I think it was like 17th round or something. Will Shipley was there, and I'm like, Will Shipley is like way too good to pass up here. Like Barkley goes down, he's going to go nuts. I like his talent a lot, and I think there's it's a possibility that both could go off together. Like if Barkley has this insane game and the Eagles are in a blowout, Shipley's going to come in and he could break a run. We saw that in the NFC Championship. So I think there are like certain situations where he can do it, but overall, I'm just not a fan of doing that. So this guy took 3 tight ends in a row. There's only 3 tight ends. Yeah. Cedric Tillman goes. I keep seeing C. Tillman. I keep wanting to call him Charles Tillman. But anyways, yeah, Cedric Tillman goes. I like Cedric Tillman as long as Flacco's playing, or maybe Shedeur Sanders, depending on how he looks. Hopkins goes. This guy loves drafting like low upside players, like Jalen Nailor, 15th round. What is that? Why would he take Jalen Nailor? I've taken Jalen Nailor in the 20th round in like 2 drafts because I had like JJ McCarthy, and I'm like, let me stack him with someone, and like Jalen Nailor is there in round 20. Like, why would you take him around 15? That's ridiculous. I love Will Shipley. We have 6 running backs already. I don't know. We need a second tight end, I guess. I'm going to start Schultz. I'm going to start Higbee. Maybe get Higbee later. We need a third quarterback. Daniel Jones is still there. I think we can get him on the wraparound. And then there's tight end, receivers, nothing at receiver. Yoshivas. Actually, we have we have Joe Burrow, so I think Yoshivas is definitely in play, and we could use a seventh receiver. So I think let's start with Yoshivas because we need a 7th receiver. And then with our next pick, we could take a tight end. We could take Schultz and then Higbee in the next round. Or we could take Shipley. I think Shipley is the best player. And we have 6 running backs already. I think we can close out running backs here. Let me take Shipley. He's definitely by far the best player. I'm going to take him. And again, like this, it's nice that we didn't take Barkley here because now we have Shipley. And, given our running back situation is not that strong. So, like, I usually, I'm fine with 6 running backs out of this draft. But given that we're not that strong at the top, I think it makes more sense to draft the 7th running back. So, I love getting Shipley. It's like 1701 is insane for Shipley. Like, if Barkley goes down, like Shipley is going to have like 2nd, 3rd round production. Like he's that talented, and he's going to be blocked. He's going to get excellent blocking, and he's going to get every opportunity. Like there's no one else there. I know they signed AJ Dillon. He sucks. Like I don't know if he's going to make the final roster. He's just terrible. So Jerome Ford goes. He is like starter there right now. I don't know how long that's going to last, but Damari Douglas is interesting. So he's much better in like regular fantasy and PPR leagues, or especially DraftKings. He's always like 3,900, and you can play him. He gets like 12 points for you, and he makes your lineup work. So I think people get confused with Douglas in DraftKings versus Douglas in best ball. Like Damari Douglas in best ball is so much worse than he is in DraftKings because you get him 17th round, you're like fine with it, but like he's never gonna have this 20+ point game thing. Like maybe like once in a blue moon, but he's not like Alec Pierce who's gonna have like a 25-point game once or like a 22 and a 20. Like that Pierce is gonna do that. He's gonna have 3 great games. Like Douglas is never going to hit that apex, and just drafting him just doesn't really make much sense to me. Just because you need upside guys, you have to think like, what can this guy do for me? Like even Yoshivas, like I'm not like crazy about him, but if one of the Bengal receivers go down, I just talked about like not taking your handcuffs, but like it's more so like T Higgins. Like he feels like when Higgins goes down, Yoshivas is the one who comes in, and like Yoshivas, if one of the Bengals top receivers goes down, like he's gonna have some great games. Same with Braylon Allen. Like if Breece Hall gets hurt, he's gonna have some big games. He's gonna play anyway. Pierce, like I said, he's gonna have 3 great games this year. Garendo with McCaffrey. Like you have to take the upside guys. Like you can't like be like, oh, this guy's gonna be safe for me, 8 to 10 points. It's not gonna win you anything in best ball. You have to take guys who are like, okay, they're gonna hit their ceiling, and I'm gonna benefit from it. Like perfect example, like Isaac Tesla. Like I'm not even drafting him, but like that makes sense as a high upside guy. Like he could be really good, especially if like St. Brown gets hurt or Jameson Williams gets hurt. Like Tesla is going to be on the field at that point, and in that offense, like he's going to have every opportunity to produce. So, you have guys like that. Whereas like you have, for example, like Michael Wilson here at 1804. What's Michael Wilson going to do for you? He's not going to win you anything in best ball. It just doesn't make sense. Is Alec Ingold still available? Did Mike McDaniel hack your account, Slew? Let's not draft Alec Ingold. What a disaster that is. I still can't believe he outtouched Tyreek Hill plus Jalen Waddle in one game. Like I get like outtouching one of them because you can take a receiver out of the game with scheming, but like both of them combined had fewer touches than Alec Ingold in one game. That is unbelievable. That's just so bad. Like, how do you have that poor of a game plan? That's crazy to me. I had such respect for Mike McDaniel before the season, and coming away from those games, I'm like, wow, this guy is so clueless. He's like the NFL version of Tom Thibodeau. All right, so we definitely need to take KB, and I would like to take Daniel Jones, and we can get both. So let's just make sure the buys line up. So 10, 10, 8, and 11, we're good with Daniel Jones. And then for tight ends, we have a 7, and Higbee's an 8, so we're fine there. So we need a third tight end with our last pick. And so we can't take 7s and 8s. So we're looking at Jatavian Sanders. Moss is 7. Mayer's an 8. Sinat. Let's see. There's not much here. Will Dissly is there. I know they signed Conklin, but Conklin's a blocker. Dissly's still the receiving tight end. So I don't know why he's going so late. That doesn't make much sense to me. If you guys see anything else here on the tight end chart, I'm all ears. There's Fannin, Gunnar Helm. I don't know. Like, what did Sinnott do last year? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay, never mind. I thought like he had like some decent stats. Never mind. Darnell Washington did do some stuff, but they might be trading for Jonnu Smith anyway. It's kind of a weird trade. I don't know why they need Jonnu Smith. They need another receiver, not another tight end. Like they have a really good tight end for Freiermuth, and they have a high upside guy with Washington. Like they don't need another one. Noah Fant's still here. I mean, look, I know they got a tight end in the second round, but look at this: 6 targets, 5, 6. I don't quite understand that. He's an 8 though. Unfortunately, he's a week 8 buy guy, so we can't take him. But I don't understand why Fant's going so late. Like I said, they had that rookie tight end, but still, he hasn't done anything. There's Grant Calcaterra, but with Goddard coming back, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, I guess we're looking at either Ja'Tavion Sanders or Will Dissly. So it's our third tight end, so it's whatever. It's not like most like when are they going to outscore Mark Andrews or Tyler Higbee? I can't believe Higbee's going 1901. That's insane to me. I don't really get that at all. Let's see. Stu says I think Ingles' parents were in the stands, so McDaniel wants to give Alec the ball. Nice. Mike says John Sanders. I'm having trouble getting to YouTube settings on Android phone. I don't have a YouTube app per se. Any tips on how to get there? And then John says I'm on a landline phone, so I can help you. I'm typing this on a typewriter. Very nice. Let's because we're entering the 20th round. I'm going to enter in the next best ball draft right now, so we can just go back to back. Hopefully. So it's burn another $20 in hopes that we win the $2 million here. So maybe that one will be the $2 million winner. Hopefully. All right, so it's our last round. I'm not really concerned about what we're going to do here. Like, I'd be shocked if Will Dissly's taken, but like I said, we need a third tight end, and that's what we're taking. We're kind of locked into that. Anyway, so at least I finally upgraded from the rotary phone. Well done. Let's see. Mike says I did find that crowns represent the activity leaderboard for each particular chat session. I don't know like why they have crowns. Couldn't they just like say like number of posts and just like have that sortable next to your name? Like it feels like they just if they just went like way overboard with the stupid crowns thing. It just doesn't like why would they do that? Just like such a gimmick. But yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I guess they're trying something out. It's like whatever. It's just funny that like we're on DraftKings, and so like when you guys mentioned crowns initially, I thought DraftKings crowns, like crowns at 77,000 crowns here. Sounds like a lot. It's like I think that's worth like $100 or something. I think each crown is 550 crowns is $1. I think that's what it is. So this is about like $120 worth of dollars that you can't take out. You can't take that money out. You have to use it to enter a contest. So Ja'Tavion Sanders goes. So our heart's broken there. We can't take the Panthers tight end. What are we gonna do? So we're gonna be Will Dissly our last pick. And look, our draft starts in 19 seconds. We can just go right into this. Our pick is pick 8. So let's see who gets picked for. This is gonna be over before that starts. So, or at least before we get on the clock. So you get to go back to back here. It's very exciting. Sinnott goes. I guess this guy didn't look at his stat lines. So yeah, hold on a second. I have this cough I got from my wife and my kids. I mentioned this before, but Bijan went number 1 here. No, he went number 2. Never mind. Still a little weird. I mentioned this before. My kids, they were sick, so I had to cancel Tuesday's show. They both had 1 or 2 fevers for like 3 or like 48 hours basically, and then my daughter, her temperature spiked to 104.5 on Thursday, and so I had to take her to the hospital. And then my son's temperature spiked when my wife checked his temperature when we were on our way to the hospital, so they drove there too. So we met up, and then yeah, it was an ear infection. So like, luckily like nothing serious, but like, when you get a 104.5 temperature, it's like pretty scary. So, all right, let's finish this off with our man, Will Dissly, and then we're done this draft. We can review it at the end once we're done this one. We're up on the clock. Look how this synced up. This is great. So we have Gibbs, we have Genty, not taking Genty, we have St. Brown, we have Neighbors and Nacua. I'm not opposed to taking Gibbs. I haven't done it that often. Never mind, he's gone. I like with Neighbors with Nacua. So St. Brown just went with Neighbors versus Nacua. I like Nacua because you can pair him with Stafford. We just took Stafford, so we can do it again. With Neighbors, you can't really pair him, so you don't get that double upside. Not that you necessarily need it. I just think that it's like a bonus for Nacua, and they're so close anyway. So I'm more likely to take Nacua than Neighbors, but they are very close. And like it's not like anyone's dying to get Stafford, so you can just get him. So Neighbors just went anyway. We're not going to we're not going to get him anyway. So we're on the way back. We're looking for, hopefully, I would love to get Brian Thomas Jr. or Nico Collins. Can't get one of those guys. I'm hoping for Ladd McConkey. So those are the three guys. If any of these gentlemen are watching the show, please don't draft them. Anyway, so Genty goes. That's stochastic. Typical stochastic pick, taking a bad player. Let's see. As I said, like I'm very down with stochastic. I used to use stochastic all the time. Well, it used to be called Awesemo.com. I think ever since they changed from Awesemo to stochastic, they've been so much worse. I use the product on both sites. Awesemo used to win me so much money on DraftKings. It was insane. Like his rankings were like impeccable. Like they just were such top-notch rankings. They were so awesome. And I think when they changed to stochastic, I can't say this for certain. The same like Collins Thomas went again back to back with a guy. I can't say this for certain, and this might be wrong. So I don't know. I'm just guessing here. But I think when they changed to stochastic.com, I think they stopped using Alex Baker's rankings. Alex Baker being Awesemo. But it's just guesswork. I have no idea if this is true or not. So we could take AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown. We could take one of the running backs too with Taylor or HN. I don't love taking HN. That team just scares me. It's Taylor versus Brown. I think I'm more likely to go receiver though. Like I said, you can find better value with running backs later. So I like to start with Nakua and Brown. But you know, it could be worth taking a running back just to see how it would work out. But I love both. I love getting heavy on receiver early because I showed this to you guys in the last draft. Like the receivers like really runs out before anything. Let's see. Mike says, thanks. I'll keep following you it. But by the way, guys, you shoot up the crown leaderboard with super chats and super stickers. I'm just saying. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Let's test it out, shall we? No, I appreciate it. Any help you guys can give me, I really appreciate it. So yeah, it always means a lot. I can't say it enough. Like you guys are always on the show, like talking and stuff. We always have great conversations going back and forth. You know, it's awesome. I love doing the show. I wish I could do it every night. I think that'd be awesome. But then I couldn't get the stuff done on the website. You know, like on the 3 days off where I don't do the show, I get like my mock draft done. I get my PGA stuff done. Hopefully, by the way, Scheffler, amazing day today. You know, I get that stuff done. I get other research stuff I do during the season. Do a lot of work with my picks and stuff. So I need like the 3 days off of the show. But like I said, I wish we could do it every night. I think that'd be great. But like I said, we're gonna make up for it with like more individual videos. With like Charlie's posting at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and I'm posting a short video every day. So it's not the same as doing a live show, but it's still, I don't know. Hopefully, hope you guys like the individual shows. We're gonna have like I was talking to my ad team, and they're going to put a video player on the site, not like on every page or anything, but like a specific page for it, and it's going to have like all of our short videos that you guys can access. You know, just so you don't have to go to YouTube and like hunt around. You can just go to the site and like see all the short videos. So hopefully you guys like that. We're up in 2 picks, by the way, that kind of snuck up with me. It was Marvin Harrison Jr., which we have a week 8 bye receiver, so I'm not willing to go that route. Same with Jack Smith and Jigba. So we can try something else. There's James Cook just went. So I think maybe Mixon on the way back. But I like a receiver here. Rashee Rice is interesting. It sounds like he's not going to get suspended. So and he looks great reportedly. So let's go with Rashee Rice, I guess. Or you know, we can get him on the way back. Let's take Rice. Let's take Rice. I don't like having the same guys with the same bye weeks early on because that, like I said before, that boxes you in. So, so Z Black goes Harrison's stochastic guy. Not stochastic guy's up now. Stochastic guy took a tight end early. He took a Raiders running back and a Raiders tight end, and then he took Tyreek Hill. Not a good start for Rick 12324. Sorry, Rick. And sorry you are using Stochastic. I would not recommend that at all. Like I said before, they were so great before, but whenever they changed Stochastic.com, I think it was like 3 years ago or so, their rankings just fell off a cliff. And my theory is that Alex Baker is no longer making rankings for them, but I could be totally wrong about that. I'm not sure, just speculation. But yeah, it's unfortunate because they were so good in DFS, but now they dropped off. I like some of the content creators they have on their YouTube channel. Like Eitan Chandler's my friend. We've hung out a few times. He lives just like down the road. The Lofty guy, I think he lives like right near me, just based on what he said. He seems like a cool dude. There are a couple other guys. Eric Lindquist, I think, is really good. But overall, I think like the company itself is just, I don't know, something went wrong there. Joe Burrow went 312. We got him at 401, so nice value from that angle. I don't know why this guy took Joe Burrow at 312. Seems weird. I guess if you like him enough, like why not take him? But if you like the Bengals that much, why not just take T Higgins at 201? I know it's a reach, but if you're gonna like reach this much for Burrow, you might as well reach. Just go all the way and reach all the way. Breece Hall is available. That's interesting. Not crazy about it though. Like he just hasn't looked the same. DJ Moore's here. I don't mind Moore. Just go quad receiver to start this draft. Tight end George Kittle, no interest there. Jane Daniels, no thanks. Interesting that Jane Daniels is going before Jalen Hurts. Seems a little strange. Okay, Moore goes. So we can take Worthy. I'm not taking Worthy. Yeah, nothing really stands out to me. I guess we're going Breece Hall. Yeah. By the way, I just did the Jets season preview. It's not posted yet, but the Jets offensive line looks really good. Now they could just get hurt again, like they always get injured. Taking Breece Hall. They tend to get hurt a lot, like Elijah Vera Tucker, for example. I guess I shouldn't say they. Like they made some moves, but Elijah Vera Tucker gets hurt a lot. But overall, if like Olu Fashanu takes a step in the second year, and Membu's as good as I think he can be, like that offensive line could be great this year. So that should help out Breece Hall. The downside of Breece Hall is that they have a mobile quarterback now, and mobile quarterbacks don't dump the ball off to running backs as often because they'll just scramble out instead. But if Breece Hall is getting great run blocking, then that's gonna be great for him. So Worthy goes, so we don't have to worry about that. John says YouTube just brought their best people together and said, let's think of the most annoying thing possible and run with it. You kind of like always wonder how like billion-dollar companies just seem to make the dumbest moves all the time. I don't quite understand why that happens, but I guess it's just, unimpressive people getting jobs that they don't deserve, probably through nepotism and such. I guess that happens all the time. Happens all the time in the government too. By the way, don't draft Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts back-to-back in rounds 3 and 4. That is so stupid. There's no reason to do that. It's not even great value for Hurts. It's not like Hurts fell to 609, and you're like, okay, I got to take him here. Like I've done that before. I've taken 2 quarterbacks in the first 5 rounds because like it was like Josh Allen at like 307, and then Joe Burrow at 507. It's just like those ADPs are insane. Like Burrow went 312 here. Like 507 is crazy. Jalen Hurts, like he was at 502 last draft. That's not even great value. Like maybe 504, he can defend it, but like 409, that's not great. First of all, it's not great value. Second, like one of these 2 guys is not going to be in your lineup each week. There's only one quarterback. There's no super flex. Like it's either going to be Jackson or Hurts. And I get that, like, yeah, you're kind of hedging your bets. You're going to have a top score each week, but still, like the other quarterback is not going to be in your top scoring lineup, and you just missed out on your receiver 2 or your running back 2 just because you took a backup here, like, without great value. That is a huge mistake by Wentz a door rider. Where do people get these names from? I wonder like what that guy was thinking of when he made that team name. Like Wentz a door rider sounds cool. Gonna go with it. Took his second quarterback for his second running back or his second receiver, like Jameson Williams. All right, we're up in 3 picks. These running backs don't look great. I do like the receivers here. Hopefully we can get Zay Flowers. That guy took Lamar Jackson. Maybe he should have taken Zay Flowers, Man, it's so early for Ridley. Where are all the good players? It seems like all the good players are gone. Like there's no one I like here. I guess like Walker's fine. James Conner, Kamara. Kamara, his offensive line should be better. Kamara's gone. Man, where are all these good players? I don't want to take Pickens. I don't know what he's going to do. Ridley's a round 6 guy. It's way too early for him. These tight ends are not great either. Yeah, what is happening here? I guess like despite Stochastic being in here, this is a pretty sharp draft, I guess. Let's kind of figure that out. So let's go with Kenneth Walker, I guess. We took Charbonnet in the last draft, so why not take Walker here, I guess. Yeah, what? I guess there weren't that many bad picks, huh? Like, how many bad picks were there outside of Hurts? And even like Hurts at 409 is not bad. Like if he didn't have Jackson, that'd be a fine pick. But just look at the bad picks. I'm not talking about Genty. That's usually where he goes. Taylor Achane, Jacobs, McBride, Higgins, McLaurin. Those are all fine. Brown, Irving, Allen, Jackson, Wilson, Williams, Cook, Rice, Harrison, Hill. I don't like Hill, but that's where he's going. Burrow was a reach, 312. Mixon, Smith and Jigba, Evans, Moore, Hall, Worthy. McMillan's a bad pick, 410. This guy took 2. This guy is going to have a bad draft. DJ Benoit. He took McMillan and Hunter. That's just stupid. Sutton, McMetcalf, Hubbard, Smith, Hunter, Williams, Hampton, Flowers, Kamara. Yeah, I mean, no one reached for anyone. Like Harvey went to 5'11". Sometimes he goes like 5'01". So, yeah, I guess like mostly sharp guys except for Team 3 and Team 10. So I guess that would explain where all the good players are. But now that we are in the 6th round, I'm comfortable taking Ridley or Juwan Jennings here or Jordan Addison. We have to see how the buys line up. Jalen Waddle went, as our friend Butters says, he's a pyramid scheme. So I love that. I love that nickname for him. I guess description, you would say. So Ridley versus Jennings, I'm taking Jennings. Although Addison, I like Addison, but he's a receiver too. Jennings could be the guy in San Francisco this year with Ayuk injured and Debo gone. Like Jennings just had some amazing games when he was alone. It's just him and Pearsall. So I'm going to take Jennings. There's no conflicts with buys, so it's pretty cool. So we have our 4th receiver here with Juwan Jennings. So there continue to be solid picks overall. Like nothing really stands out as poor. Maybe Jerry Jeudy a little too early, but yeah, Chris Godwin too early too. But that's Team 10. That's the cast guy taking Chris Godwin. Like, why in the world would you take Chris Godwin in the 5th round? This guy is coming off an injury. He's not quite that old, but he's getting up there in age, and he has 3 other receivers he's going to be working with. He has Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, and Emeka Egbuka. And why he was so good last year was Liam Cohen using him in the Cooper Kupp role. Now Cohen's gone. You don't know how they're going to use him. And like they drafted a receiver in the 1st round for a reason after re-signing Godwin. It's when the Falcons drafted Michael Penix, my theory, like it was asinine at the time, but like my theory was the only way this makes sense is if they signed Cousins, it's this big deal, and then they saw him throw in practice, and they're like, oh crap, this guy is done. Like we need to take our quarterback. And I think maybe that's the same thing that happened with the Buccaneers. Like maybe they re-signed Godwin thinking he's gonna be fine, coming out the injury, not like a torn ACL or anything, but like they saw him run in some practices, and they're like, oh man, this guy is washed up. So I really worry about that. So we are up in 4 picks or so. Khalil Shakir just went a little too early for Shakir, but I'm fine with it. Olave went early too. This number 3 guy is helping us out by making some bad picks. So man, I'd love to get Addison on the way back, but he just got taken. I like Odunze. Let's go to receivers. Okay, so Odunze just went. Jacoby Myers is the number 1 receiver at the Raiders. Not like crazy upside. We could take Pearsall. I have no concerns taking Pearsall with Juwan Jennings because they're the only 2 receivers there. And we could get Brock Purdy hopefully in round 9. And given that we're the only guys who have the 49ers receivers, hopefully no one else takes Purdy. Maybe the Kittle guy does, but I'm going to take Pearsall here, so we can have like a full San Francisco stack, which is it's not. I think that's good because like none of those guys are like superstars, except for Kittle, I guess. But they're all like the offense is so like condensed with all the injuries and departures. So I think it's like a really good stacking opportunity because you're going to get some good opportunities there for a lot of correlation. Um, so round 8, I think I'm looking at either Swift or Pacheco. Pollard just went. There's also Tyron Tracy. I wouldn't mind a third running back here, but I would like to take a receiver actually as well. So we have to kind of look at who's available. So we're up in 4 picks. No interest in Kupp. Don't take Kupp. I don't mind Hawkinson. I like him a lot here, so we could take him. Pacheco's available. Maybe Tracy, but he's definitely on the lower rung. There's Downs and Pittman. We can maybe get them later, although we're kind of gunning for Purdy in round 9. Kupp just went. Not by stochastic. I was thinking that he might take Cooper Kupp. Stephon Diggs goes again. Don't draft Stephon Diggs in the 8th round or any round, like maybe 16th round if you possibly do, but like don't draft Stephon Diggs. He's not even be ready until week 4 at least. So that's a big mistake. So we kind of have to decide what we're doing here. Do we draft Pacheco and have like a safe third running back, or do we draft Hawkinson and have a lot of upside at tight end? I think with like Hall and Walker, I'm more inclined to take the tight end over Pacheco. And we already have a Chiefs receiver, so that's a slight negative correlation there. Although, like, we're talking round 8, so it's not a huge deal at this point. Pacheco went, so luckily we got our decision made for us. So we're going to take Hawkinson, have a really good tight end 1. So I like our team so far. Nakua, Brown, Rice, huge upside there. Solid running backs, and then Hawkinson. Sorry, my throat keeps like I was saying before, my kids are sick. I think I got like a little of what they had. It's not, I don't have a fever or anything. I don't know like why they got fevers and my wife and I didn't. But my wife was coughing a lot. She just didn't have a fever. I think I got like a little bit of cough, but it affected me the least. It's kind of weird that like it affected the youngest person the most and the oldest person the least in my family. Yeah, my daughter had the worst. My son had it really bad, but not as bad. My wife's 7 years younger than me. She had it like cough kind of pretty bad, and then I'm just like slight sore throat. It's not anything. So I wish I had it the worst. I would love to have the fever instead of my daughter and my son. Just I hate like seeing my kids suffer. Just the worst. You can't. It's like you feel so helpless as a parent. Let's say Slew says probably an idea brought up by one of the most recent DI hires. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Say, hey, DAI hire. What would you have any ideas for how to ruin YouTube? Oh, let's put in crowns. I saw that the DraftKings has crowns. Let's put in crowns. Like that'll really get the conversation going. These DI hires are awful. So, all right. So we're looking at we're up in 4 picks. We're looking at Purdy to get the correlation. Do we dare wait until round 10 for Purdy? It depends who's available. Is Jalen Warren not dying to get him, even though we did last time? Trey Harris, not like – I think Trey Harris has upside, but like he also has a pretty low floor. The Chargers love to run the ball. So he may not do anything. Tight ends, Jonnu Smith. I mean, he could be traded. Like, who knows? We already have a tight end anyway. Let's be safe. Let's take Purdy. If we pass on Purdy and he gets taken, I'll be pretty salty. So we got our stack going. So that's nice. We got the full San Francisco stack without granted without Kittle, but still, like Purdy could have some big games just throwing to Jennings and Pearsall. Like, especially if Kittle goes down, like that's it's already condensed. Like that's gonna be super condensed if that happens. So. I really like this pairing. Like Ayuk's not going to be available until the second half of the season, and even then, he may not be 100% because he tore his ACL and MCL, so it's going to be longer for him than normal, and then just a normal ACL, which is always like pretty bad for receivers in the first place. All right, so as we stand now, we have 2 running backs, we have 5 receivers, a tight end, and a quarterback. I would like to get another quarterback within the next couple of rounds, or at least 2. Or at least 1, maybe 2. I'm still working on it. Um, so hopefully you find it. I'm sure you'll be able to find it eventually. Um, let's see. So it's funny. The stochastic guy took Jalen Warren, who I didn't want, despite drafting him last time. We're kind of like boxed into that. He took Warren. Where did we take Warren last time? We took Warren at we took him in 901, I think, because we had to. Okay, he had better value than us in 910. But like we were kind of stuck with Jalen Warren. By the way, Javonte Williams went round 10 last time and went 906 this time, which I wouldn't recommend at all. I don't want to bring up insurance policy girl again, but that always comes to mind now. And by the way, she had her wedding on the day that everyone is supposed to be. Remember, like the Mayan calendar expired or something. Everyone is supposed to be. What was the word for it? I can't remember the word for it. But everyone is supposed to like disappear or something. And she had her wedding on that day. I actually texted her. I'm like, "Are you concerned about this?" She's like, "Yeah, like this is awful." So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, we're up. Um, so it's funny that Trey Harris and Justin Herbert are available. I would like to pair them together if possible, but maybe we could just draft Justin Herbert anyway. I'm not in love with like any of these options. Like there's Charbonnet, I guess. We have Walker. I don't want to take my own handcuff. There's Trey Harris. Let me star Herbert just in case. These tight ends are just. Let's take Herbert. This is like the dry area of the draft where I'm like not excited about anything. So it's a good time to take a quarterbacks. Justin Herbert could be really good this year, and maybe we'll get Trey Harris on the way back. Probably not, but you never know. If not, we can get Keandre Lambert-Smith in the 20th round. Definitely not Quentin Johnston. By the way, 5 quarterbacks in a row, six out of the last 7 picks for quarterbacks. So I think like people kind of realize that this is where you take your quarterbacks because the other options like suck, including Cam Scatterbo. Well, I don't understand pick round 10. I don't get it. Like he's the 3rd running back on the team. Like he has upward mobility to be the 2nd running back, but like he's not passing Tyron Tracy on the depth chart. Like Tracy was so electric last year. And like Singletary is like he's not great, but like obviously, but he's a good backup. He did well last year in the opportunities he had. So I really don't get the Scatterbo pick at all. For our 3rd quarterback, I'm thinking that we get Matthew Stafford in like round 13. Guerrero just went. That broke my heart. Not to see Guerrero there. I think Guerrero is my 2nd highest owned player. I think his upside's through the roof. He should be going 10-08, not Scatterbo. Like it's insane to me that Guerrero's going past Scatterbo. Like it's not even close to me. Like if both are available, I'm 100% taking Guerrero instead of Scatterbo. Like that doesn't make that's just so illogical for Scatterbo to go like sometimes 2 rounds earlier. That doesn't make any sense to me. So we're up in 3 picks. I noticed that Trey Harris is still there, and I'm sure we'll get sniped as we usually do. But so again, my plan. Although we could take McCarthy, I actually don't mind that at all. But we did take Nacua, so I like Stafford there. Running back, we could take Kenny's guy Tank Bigsby in honor of Kenny, and then Trey Harris is there. All right, let's take Trey Harris. He's our 6th receiver, but yeah, I'm fine with that. Just to pair with Herbert, that's nice. And who knows? Like maybe Trey Harris just has this big year. Like he tested pretty well, and like he's a big player. He can catch contested catches. He's gonna be good in the red zone. I think there's no competition on the outside. There's McConkey obviously in the slot, but there's nothing on the outside receiver. Like Quentin Johnston is blocking him. I guess Mike Williams is still there, or he just got back there. But Mike Williams was awful last year, although he was coming off the torn ACL. Trey Harris has like a really good chance to pop off this year. So when I at round 10 at 10:05, I'm like, oh man, it sucks that we can't get Herbert and Harris, and we did. So that kind of hopefully that pays off. That would be awesome. So I like that we stacked. I still want Keandre Lambert-Smith in the 20th round if we can get him, or maybe Mike Williams even. We can take him. So But I want to take Stafford like round 13, round 12. I want to take another running back because we only have two. And so we kind of maybe see who's going to be available. I think Tank Bigsby is one guy who stands out to me. Let's look. Let's see. There's Tajay Spears, Rashad White, Tank Bigsby, Ray Davis. For some reason, my phone sometimes picks up what I'm doing. And by the way, my daughter is she loves grabbing my phone. She was going, hello, hello. she's 21 months old. She likes like mimicking every time. She's like, hello, hello. I'm like, who's there? She's like, Daddy. That's not how it works. But no, she loves doing that, and she I like sometimes she just like starts pressing buttons like randomly. Stafford just went. What? Are you kidding me? Stafford went. Who takes Stafford in round 12? Wow, that's something that kind of ruins our plans there. Anyway, I mean, whatever. There's still other options. Anyway, so I saw her in the hospital when we're waiting for the doctor to come back, and she's like starts playing with the phone. This is after they gave her temperature reducers, like I think it was ibuprofen. So she started having more fun. She started like tapping some of my phone. And I just looked out the corner of my eye, and it said like I saw like agreement something agreement. I'm like, I just like grabbed the phone from her. I'm like what are you agreeing to? Like what are you signing for me? I just had like ever since then I had to like make sure. And then like one other time she put my phone into airplane mode, and like it was for hours. Like I had no idea it was in airplane mode. So it's just got to make sure that she doesn't mess the phone up too much. So Tank Bigsby has the week 8 bye. We already have a guy with week 8 bye. We're going to take Ray Davis. I'm sorry, Kenny, if you're watching this. But we have a week 8 bye running back. So if Bigsby comes back to us, we'll consider it. But I don't want to be trapped into having too many guys the same bye week. As far as quarterbacks are concerned, we need our third quarterback. I think this is the time to do it. So our receivers are Nakua and Stafford. Like, what the heck? Stafford's gone. We can't take Hurts. We can't take Mahomes. We can't take McCarthy. We have Purdy. So yeah, we are free. Like for stack purposes, I'm going to start Cam Ward because you don't really need to stack Cam Ward. Like we could take Chiggy Bang Bang Okonkwo later, but with Cam Ward, you don't need to stack him because like Cam Ward's best game is when he rushes in for 2 touchdowns this year. Like and he's not going to be stacked up with anyone. So he's one of those quarterbacks where actually. When you add pieces to it, might be like negative correlation. It's kind of like Josh Allen. He has Shakir has some good games, but if you play DFS and you play Josh Allen and you stack him with like Shakir's fine, but then if you stack him with like last year, Dalton Kincaid or Keon Coleman or Amari Cooper late in the year, like it actually hurt you because those guys usually didn't do anything. And like Allen's best game was when he ran in 3 touchdowns. Like, and if you played someone else with him, like that actually hurt you. So I don't like these running quarterbacks. You don't really need to take anyone. In fact, it's probably better that you don't. But one piece doesn't hurt. But like sometimes I see like guys taking mobile quarterbacks and stacking like 2 or 3 pieces of them. I'm like that's usually a bad idea. I just won't do it. So Jake Betch just went. I don't mind Jake Betch round 13 at all. I think he's upside. Richardson just went over Cam Ward, which is interesting. I don't think I've seen that at all. So yeah, hopefully, if Ward goes, we'll take Geno Smith, whatever. So I just want my third quarterback here, so we don't have to worry about. Bryce Young just goes. So Cam Ward's a week 10 bye, Purdy's 14, and Herbert's 12. So we're good there. So let's take Cam Ward, and so we are done with quarterbacks, and we can concentrate on adding high value, high upside running backs from here on out, the next 3 rounds or so. So. And then we'll take our backup tight ends. So I like the way this draft went outside of the Stafford mishap, but you can't control people making bad draft picks. Not that like Stafford's a bad player, but like 1201, that's the earliest I've ever seen Stafford go. Like he usually goes late 12th, early 13th, and I guess like you can make the argument he wasn't going to fall back to him, which is fine, But this guy did draft Cooper Kupp 801, so let's not think that he did. And also like Joe Burrow 312. This guy's been reaching the whole time. What's his name? X Factor. It's the X Factor's to reach. Bigsby goes. Sorry, Kenny. Once again. It's funny that we could have gotten Bigsby on the way back at 1308 when we were considering him at 1205. So if we didn't need a third quarterback, that would have been a nice pairing there, Davis and Bigsby. Although we had a week 8 running back by. So it says, since Quacky isn't here, I want to let you know you can get plus 500 at FanDuel for the Pacers to win it all, just in case you get that Quacky feeling trademark in the next couple of games. I'm pretty confident that the Thunder are going to win it. I don't know. The East was so easy this year. Think about like what the Pacers have done. They saw the Bucks without Lillard, and granted Lillard is not great, but still they were down their starting point guard. And then second round, the Cavaliers are missing Mobley and Garland in games 1 and 2, and then in the first quarter of game 4, Mitchell got hurt, and then Mitchell was not 100% in game 5. So they just cakewalked to the Eastern Conference Final, and then in the Eastern Conference Final they ran into a Knicks team that also benefited from injury with Tatum, and they dealt with or the Knicks dealt with Tom Thibodeau's stupidity. Quinn Johnson way too early once again. So like I feel like the Pacers, I don't know if I want to call them like the worst team to ever play in the NBA Finals, but they are certainly maybe the luckiest team to ever get there. Like they just, it's such easy competition all the way there. So yeah, I don't know. I like the Thunder. I just like 5-1 makes sense. I did hedge because I had the Timberwolves at 60-1, and I bet the Nuggets at what was it, like 20-1 or something. We're gonna take Algier, by the way. He's one of those insane guys who can really win your league. So I did hedge with the Thunder for my Timberwolves bet, and not enough. I was really hoping the Timberwolves would win one of the first 2 games in Oklahoma City, and like I could get a good number. And I kind of forgot the hedge, as probably something with the kids or whatever, just going crazy. So I forgot the hedge ahead of the series. So I did hedge a little bit, like I said, but it wasn't nearly enough. So I do have a little bit on the Thunder to win the finals. So maybe like the Pacers are a hedge of a hedge, but I feel like you're going too deep at that point. And like I said, I just feel like the Thunder are just so much better than the Pacers. Like they took care of business against the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves are definitely better than the Pacers. They beat the Nuggets in 7, which that really surprised me. I was really hoping for the Nuggets to make the Western Conference Finals because the Timberwolves own them. They beat them every time. I guess like Thunder was just a bad matchup for Minnesota. So Tillman goes round 14 here. I think he went round 16 last time. Kind of goes to show that like some of these ADPs can be off. Anyway, for Algier, I love getting Algier around 14. Like Algier and Garendo together. Like, can you imagine a season where you have both of those guys? McCaffrey goes down because he's so injury prone, and not Bijan's not injury prone, but he could always miss a few games. And like, what if he gets hurt for the season? Like, you're gonna have like 2 RB1s like that you drafted late, and then if you pair them with the receivers you drafted here, like let's say Ray Davis, for example. This is why you take these high upside guys. If James Cook is traded, or if he holds out, and then if Bijan goes down, you're gonna have Ray Davis and Algier to pair with Nakua, AJ Brown, Rashee Rice, these running backs, and then our San Francisco stack. Like that seems like that would win this league, like pretty easily. Like if you get that to happen for you, and obviously it could not happen. Like it may not happen. But you have to play. You have like what else are you gonna take around 14? Like Xavier Legette is not gonna do anything. I like Tillman though, but you have Joshua Palmer, who like John Sanders can tell us about this about this player. Or I guess like he will be able to tell us. Like I don't know. Palmer did nothing last year with Justin Herbert. I have drafted him in a couple of leagues here when I've had Josh Allen, but still not. I think I drafted him like twice out of like 50 times or so. All right, so like I said, I want more running backs. Although Alec Pierce makes me look at receiver, but we have Braylon Allen again, Jalen Wright. We have a week 9 bye, guys, so maybe we take Wright instead. I think so. I think those guys are pretty even for me. We can maybe get Shipley on the way back. Let's take Jalen Wright this time. Be different than our last draft. So right now we have 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 6 receivers, 1 tight end. I want 1 more running back and one more receiver, which we can get later, Keandre Lambert-Smith, for example. And then we need 2 more tight ends. So I think we're looking pretty good. I would love to get the Shipley in round 16 and just like not really stress about running back at all. And again, like Jalen Wright is another guy. Like Achane goes down, which easily could happen. Like Jalen Wright, they love Jalen Wright. They drafted or they traded a future draft pick for him just to get him. And it felt weird at the time because they had Achane, they had Mostert, but now Mostert's gone, and now Achane. What if he gets hurt? Like I said, so Jalen Wright could have a really good season if that were the case. So you need to take. I can't say this enough. Like, look how bad this pick is, DeAndre Hopkins. Like, what is he going to do? What could he possibly do this year? He had one good game, right, against the Saints on Monday Night Football. Where was that? It was a 28-6. Outside of that, he had a 19, I guess. So he had 1, 19, 5, 9, 0, 4, 28, 9, 5, 14, 13, 13, 8, 6, 7, 2, 0, 2, 11. Like, why are you drafting this guy? And he's now a year older, which obviously means more when you're in your 30s. So he's 33. That's insane to me. I don't understand why you would ever draft Hopkins. Like, I wouldn't even draft him in the 20th round. Like round 15, that's crazy. There's no reason to do that at all. What's this guy's name? Z Black. I've seen Z Black in here a lot. He tends to draft a lot. I would love to like ask him why he drafted Hopkins. Like there's zero upside. He might have one good game this year. Like that's it, maybe two. But like why not take Alec Pierce instead? I assume Pierce is still there. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, he could have had Pierce. Like that would have been way more upside. So we're up now. We got our guy Shipley. Let's take Shipley again. Braylon Allen here too, by the way. So yeah, I'm going to take Braylon Allen. I mean, he's I like him better than Shipley. I like both a lot, but although we have Breece Hall, yeah, actually, yeah, that makes me want to take Shipley because we have Breece Hall. Yeah, I'm going to say Shipley, whatever. Doesn't matter. So anyway, so what do we need? We need 2 tight ends. We have 4 picks left. We need 2 tight ends and a receiver, and then it could be one of anything else. So. All right, we'll look back at it when it comes around. So, let's talk Last of Us 2, franchise 10 saying. So I mean, we did an episode on The Last of Us like 3 weeks ago, with the Omnifferal. Actually, probably 2 weeks ago, maybe. And that was a good episode. Braylon just goes. That like I've seen 1.5 episodes of The Last of Us. I thought the first half of the first episode was amazing, and I thought the second half of the first episode was awful, and then the second episode I thought was horrible. And I said this because, and this is nothing to do with like the DI woke stuff, not DI necessarily, the woke stuff they have in the show. There's nothing to do with it. It more to do with like. It was so like stereotypical, like dystopian zombie world where like you don't have any normal humans. They're basically in groups, weird groups, like the one-legged zebras who do something, or like The Walking Dead, like the Whisperers who put stuff on their face and whisper, or the people of Terminus who are cannibals for some reason, like or the people who live in the junkyard who act like they're homeless people, like it's so stupid. I hate that sort of thing. There's no reason for humans to act that way. I feel like it's so unrealistic. I think there would be gangs and stuff for sure in such a world, but like they wouldn't do weird stuff like that. Like there's no reason for a gang to act like homeless people in a junkyard. That's so dumb. So that frustrated me with The Walking Dead, and the Last of Us was doing that too. Right away, and I'm like, I'm not getting into this. I think this sucks. So anyway, let me concentrate. So we have we need a second tight end, like I said. We have Cam Ward, right? So we could take Chiggy Bang Bang Okonkwo at by 10. Our Hawkinson is by 6, so that works out. So let's take Chiggy Bang Bang Okonkwo, and then maybe we'll take a receiver on the way back, or maybe Higbee, who's by 8. So that works out for us. Anyway, so I really hate that sort of thing. It just was a huge turnoff for The Walking Dead. I thought that was the worst part of The Walking Dead until, well, actually, I guess this sort of fits that. In the final season, there were stormtroopers. Like there were literally stormtroopers in The Walking Dead. Like people not like people from space, but like people dressed up like stormtroopers. For some reason, they found stormtrooper outfits and they dressed up like stormtroopers. Like that I was so pot committed to The Walking Dead, mostly because what would happen was this is before I had kids. I used to go to my parents' house every Thursday night just to watch Thursday Night Football with my dad, and then afterward, while I was typing stuff up about like on the site, we would watch like an episode or two of like The Walking Dead because they really like that show, and like it was great to start. I mean, first half of Walking Dead was awesome. First 4 or 5 seasons or so. Spring season 1 was amazing. Talk about like best seasons. I'll say like first 4 seasons of The Walking Dead were good, maybe 5 seasons until you got to Negan. And like the first few episodes of Negan I loved, but then it got a little tired. But still, I think that's where it went downhill. But I was so pot committed because my parents loved watching it, and so I'd be like, "Hey, do you guys want to watch another show?" And they're like, "No, let's watch Walking Dead." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So my point is that like once we got to the Stormtrooper stuff, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, sorry guys, I can't watch this anymore. I'm putting my foot down. I'm done. So I never even watched the end of the series. I heard what happens. I heard a little bit of what happens. We're up, by the way, after this pick. We can take Io Manor. Yeah, no, not really. I don't want him. So let's just take Higbee and just be fine with our tight ends. And then we have to take at least one receiver. We're up. Let's take Higbee. Anyway, so we are done with our tight ends. Nice tight end room. Hawkinson's awesome, and then Higbee's gonna have some big games with Stafford, and Chiggy Bang Bang with Cam Ward is nice. So anyway, so with The Last of Us, I just never got into it because they went into that stupid stuff with the whole gang stuff. I think like the group, I believe, was like the butterflies or the moths or something. I can't remember. Once they like, it was in the first episode too. They're like, "Oh, we're part of the moths." I'm like, "I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to watch this." And like, yeah, they went into more in episode 2. I'm like, I quit. I just can't watch this anymore. So I didn't even get to the woke stuff in season 2. And so we talked about that primarily on the show with Omnifral, and like with that ugly girl said, "I'm gonna be a dad." It's like, so like we're talking about how Omnifral was saying that like it didn't even make sense, even if like she was pretending to be a guy, just because they had just started dating. And like, if you just started dating someone, it's not like a relationship you're in like even 6 months or so. Like you just start dating this person for a few weeks, and they announce this as pregnant. Like, first of all, you're gonna be like, I thought we were dating. Like I mean, if you want to be with that person, it's fine. Like, but like. For just to assume like I'm gonna be a dad, like someone you just started dating, like that's a little weird. Um, so like it didn't really even make sense from that perspective. But then like saying like I'm gonna be a dad, like why? If she said I'm gonna be a mom, like I'm not gonna be the mom, but I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna be an aunt or something. Say like I'm gonna be an aunt, like that actually makes sense, like. But I'm gonna be a dad, like what? Like what drugs are you on? This doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, they can't have that. I know they killed off the main man character, Paulo Pascal, whatever his name is, Pedro Pascal. So they killed that guy off. Apparently he was good. He was great in Game of Thrones. He played the Red Viper in Game of Thrones. We are up now. We're taking the best receiver, running back available. Tesla's there. That's someone we could look at. Although, Keandre Lambert-Smith too. Just take a high upside guy here. Wicks makes sense. Cooper is going to sign with someone. Let's start Tesla. I haven't drafted him at all. So kind of, I wouldn't mind having like a share of him or anything. Let's take Tesla. See what happens, and then I'm going to look up Lambert-Smith, and he's going to be our last pick. No one's going to take him. All right, so anyway, that's just so ridiculous. Like I can't believe they went that route. Although the game was pretty woke too, and I saw some people on Twitter and stuff be like, "Oh, these people, who hate the show didn't play the game." Ha ha ha. Well, I don't know. I actually have Last of Us 1. I haven't even played it just because I don't have time to play video games, unfortunately. I used to play video games all the time. I actually, I mentioned the show. I doubt this is still true. I haven't even looked it up because it was so long ago. When I was 12 or 11, I held the world record for Choco Island 1 in Super Mario Kart, the one for the SNES. That's how much I used to play video games. I had no life. In fact, I had my friend Frank, who I didn't he was like he and I'm there for all my two best childhood friends. They used to call us the Three Musketeers. So we used to hang out all the time. One day when I was and we're gonna take what's his face, Lambert Smith here. One day in like I want to say fifth grade or something. So I used to talk about video games all the time. One day he was like, I bet you that you can't go a whole week without playing video games. I was like, okay, you're on. And then I broke it like 3 hours later. And like after dinner, I was like, I'm bored. I'm gonna play video games. I remember it was Crystalis, it was an RPG for the Nintendo. I remember playing that. And then the next day I saw Frank, and he's like, you're not playing video games, right? I'm like, no. So we didn't have money back then. We were like 10 or 9. So like I did lie to him about the bet, but there's no money involved. So it's not like I own money. And anyway, he never paid me because I made a bet with him. The first bet I ever made in for NFL. I bet him that the Eagles would beat the Niners. This is back when they had Steve Young. I bet them that the Eagles will win against the Niners. It was like a Monday Night Football game or something, and the Eagles actually won. But he never paid out that to me, so it's kind of revenge. But that was I was like 9 or 10, so we were like even on bets. But anyway, I used to play video games so much back in even college. Like I love going out drinking in college, like later in my college years. But like there were some nights where like I'm just gonna play video games all night, just because I like playing video games so much. But now like with 2 kids. And the full-time job here, and the stuff I do with the stock market, I just don't have time to play video games, unfortunately. Like, I will like before bed, I will like wind down, and like I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I will load up the PS5 and I'll play like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, and then just go to bed. Just barely time enough to do anything. That game is like so long too. I don't even know if I'm gonna finish the summer, but. Yeah, just before bed, I was just like winding down and then going to bed. But anyway, like I said, I've had The Last of Us 1. My wife got that for me with because I bought a PS4 for I guess just for us. I don't think it was for any occasion, but like I think it was like a Father's Day gift or birthday gift. I can't remember, but she bought me The Last of Us 1 because she heard it was a good game. I've always wanted to play it. I just haven't had time because like I said, I don't play video games. But like, even when I do, I've had like stuff on the back burner, like. I have I spent like 2 years on Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth here. I played Ori was an amazing game. I played that. I actually beat that in like 3 weeks. It was a pretty short game. It was a really good game. Like I have stuff on like the back burner. I have like 10 or 12 games I want to play. I just haven't played yet. So I don't know. I just haven't played it. But like I said, I do want to get to it at some point. But this TV show makes me not want to watch it. Although I heard that The Last of Us 1 video game is awesome, and The Last of Us 2 was really bad, so maybe I just won't play 2. But anyway, let's review our teams very quickly here to close out the show. So let's go to Team 1, just I may not remember it that clearly. So we have the top pick. We went Chase over Saquon Barkley, just kind of like change things up because I went Barkley in another draft. We have McLaurin, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. DK Metcalf. It's funny that those 2 guys are on our team despite not being together on the same team in real life. There's Chris Olave. So looks like 5 number 1 receivers, which is nice. And then we took Pierce and Yoshivas later on. So I love this receiving group. We paired Burrow with Chase. We paired Chase with Burrow, which is awesome. Our running backs are kind of shaky though. Judkins, then Warren, Najee Harris, Charbonnet, Guerendo, Braylon Allen, Shipley. I feel like some of those guys will eventually go off, but like. Right now they look shaky. Like anyone looking at this, be like, "Oh, your running backs suck." But come week 6, those running backs might be awesome. So I don't want to like wish for injury, but injuries would help us there. Took Mark. I love Mark Andrews. I think he's going to bounce back this year. And then Higbee and Disley at the end. So our quarterback 3, by the way, is shaky. It's Daniel Jones. But when you have Burrow, that doesn't matter as much. You just need 3 quarterbacks in best ball. For the other team, we drafted out of the 8th spot, and we ended up with 3 receivers to start here with Nakua, Brown, and Rice, and then Jennings, Pearsall together in a stack with Purdy, and then Trey Harris in a stack with Justin Herbert. and then a couple of Lambert Smith and Tesla later. So thought those guys, thought the receiving core is pretty good as well. Thinking back, I wonder if Tesla could have been anything else. Like it could have been Io Manor, but I don't know. It could have been maybe Jake Cowing from the Niners, but still, I'd rather. I think Tesla's has more upside. Running backs here are better than the other team for sure, although we don't have Burrow, so that's the trade-off. We have Hall and Walker as our top guys. Then we have some sleepers: Davis, Algier, Wright, and Shipley. So I like this group a lot. Tight end, we have another tight end one with Hawkinson, and then Okonkwo Higbee as solid backups. And then our quarterbacks are Purdy, pairing with Jennings and Pearsall, and then Herbert is a pretty good quarterback too. And then Cam Ward, who has upside, the quarterback 3. I like the pairing of Purdy and Ward, by the way, because like Purdy seems like safer to me, and like Ward has really good upside with his rushing ability. So I think they work pretty well together. They have different buys. So I guess that is it for tonight's show. Thank you so much, guys, for watching and commenting. Really appreciate it. We'll be back on Tuesday. We're gonna have a new guest on either Tuesday or Thursday. He's actually pretty known in the fantasy football world. I think he has like 90,000 subs on YouTube. So I've done his show, and he's going to come on my show. We're going to hear from him. He has some really strong opinions, but he's had a lot of success in fantasy. So I can't wait to hear from him. We're going to have Kenny on Wednesday. Tom will be back Saturday. And then our fourth guest, not sure yet, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Once again, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description of the merch store. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you on Tuesday.